Tristan with Nerdud's Newsstand, and I've been debating back and forth for a few days whether or not to even do this video to talk about it, but I do want to talk a little bit about how everything around comics, around the world, around pop culture is politicized. Everything is made politicized even when it's not. People always, and you see it done all the time, claim that they want to keep the politics out of comics or the politics out of pop culture. I get it. I do. But those are the people that bring the politics in the most. Now, yes, we're going to kind of visit outrage culture again, right? And what it is and how it is done and what to do to kind of fix this whole problem in comics that surrounds outrage culture and what we can do to move forward. So outrage culture is obviously those moral superior to us, right? Or, just craving some sort of public recognition, whether it is some sort of financial game. And then they usually end up bending over backwards to kind of be offended as possible about everything, even when they really aren't, even when they don't really care about the IP. And this happens on both sides all of the time. It really creates this us versus them tribalism. But most importantly, it creates a bad guy. And a bad guy is what you need, whether it's an SJW or those Nazis. Someone is to blame. There are people to this day who truly believe, because they've been told by people, that the Marvel All New Initiative was a failure and that it didn't sell, when in actuality, it sold very well and it actually created some longer lasting sales. People truly believe that the comic book industry is over, it is dead, and there are people within it trying to purposefully kill it. Yes, people truly believe that because they've been told that over and over and over again by the same people or similar people at least, right? So anyone, including myself, who says otherwise must be wrong, right? And if I take a look at a book or if I take a look at something and criticize real sexism, real racism, any of those things, real issues, then you're an SJW. Not to mention, people have no problem throwing hard-working people in the industry away for their clicks to defend a serial stalker who's left hundreds of messages on my channel with over 20 different screen names because ignorance. Right, okay. So, basically what, I kind of equate this to is you hear this blue hair SJW. It's like the hippies of the 70s is the SJW, right? Just a shift in Overton's window. Now, you also see this done quite often. All of this outrage, Puritans are outrage on Twitter. 8 words on why this person wants, say, Batman to have a boyfriend. It's not outrage. It's fantasy. And just because it's not your opinion doesn't mean they don't have the right to do so. It doesn't make sense. Everything doesn't have to be political. It's that easy. Not everything is woke trash, but it is if you listen and you think, that all of these people are outraged over this or over that. Now, discover a little bit of the Matrix with me and state, like I said, I do think there is a way to fix this, but I want to take you back in a little bit of time machine and we're going to talk about Stan's soapbox. Stanley, yes. And I'm going to just read it. I think a lot of people will either A, be surprised, or B, try to make an excuse for it. But Stanley always had social and political commentary in his comic books. He always had those things present. So, this is what he says. And there's plenty more. There's a whole book out there. This is just the one I picked for today. Let's lay it right on the line. Bigotry and racism are among the deadliest social ills plaguing the world today. But unlike a team of costume supervillains, they can't be halted with a punch in the snoot or a zap from a ray gun. The only way to destroy them is to expose them, to reveal them for the insidious evils they really are. The bigot is an unreasoning hater, one who hates blindly, fanatically, indiscriminately. If his hang-up is a black man, he hates all black men. If a redhead once offended him, he hates all redheads. If some foreigner beat him to a job, he's down on all foreigners. He hates people he's never seen, people he's never known, with equal intensity, with equal venom. Now, we're not trying to say it is unreasonable for one human being to bug another, but although anyone has the right to dislike another individual, it's totally irrational, patently insane to condemn an entire race, to despise an entire nation, to vilify an entire religion. Sooner or later, we must learn to judge each other on our own merits. Sooner or later, if man is to ever be worthy of his destiny, we must fill our hearts with tolerance, for then and only then will we be truly worthy of the concept that man was created in the image of God, a God who calls us all his children. There's a bunch more. But I think it is very silly to try to say that, politics haven't been in comics. Okay, I get that. There are right and wrong ways to do these things. And there is a lot of wrong ways to do these things we're currently being seen. I just spoke about one when we had Brian Azzarello's upcoming book on the insurrection. Yeah, that's not the right way to do things. No. Now Hitler punching a Nazi. Yeah, that's okay. There are different ways. Now, I spoke about this on my side channel, but I never brought it back over here. The recent Captain America issue. That is Captain America. Captain America criticizing America or the American dream has been something Captain America has done since his inception. Is it annoying? Sure. Is it kind of the same tired storyline over and over again? Yeah, it is. We just seen the whole thing with Ta-Nehisi Coates during his entire run. But it doesn't change the fact that it is very true to the character. Another character that people absolutely dislike is Captain Marvel. And it is one of the best books at Marvel right now. Carol's a little bit of a hoe. Not gonna lie, she's sleeping around with Doctor Strange and Rhodey, and yeah, these things are not woke. Captain Marvel is not woke in the comic. I've never actually seen the movie. But it doesn't matter the IP. We constantly see this over and over again. Even if you don't like the characters, even if you hate the characters, you're offended. We have a multiverse for a reason. We've talked about tokenization before on this channel. We've seen it done throughout the years. Always. It's normal. Like Supergirl, Batgirl. I've went through and done a detailed video about this. Things aren't political. Things don't need to be political just because they're gay. Being gay does not make you political at all. Does being straight? No. Does being black? No. These things aren't political. Now, if you're seeing ridiculousness like virtue signaling, true virtue signaling, not, an umbrella term, by a company like Blizzard, and then seeing what is actually in the lawsuit, yeah, absolutely criticize that. I think a lot of it, besides tribalism, is to blame for social media. Because we put our thoughts out there, we react, right? We react and we can react immediately. And no matter what, if we change our mind, that's there. And it doesn't matter. Even like the video I put out earlier today. I loved Mother of Madness. I thought it was great, right? But because before I said I didn't like the concept of it, I must be a hypocrite. No. I just saw it in motion and it was good. Now, armpit hair, yeah, totally disgusting. Like, freaks me out. I hate it. Gross. The rest of it was great. Rest of it was wonderful. And that's okay because it was made for a female audience. At least they have the respect to know their core audience, right? And we're even seeing stuff like in One Piece talking about transgender rights. It's not just in comic books. And honestly, it's in manga too, but people choose to ignore it because primarily 70% of the audience buying manga is, not even in the double digits sometimes with their age. But even so, I do think there's a cure, actually. Besides the obvious things like education and constructive criticism, I think the biggest thing is apathy. And kind of hold with me there. What I mean by that is stop watching stuff that you hate. If you have no interest and you're mad at Kevin Smith, do not watch it. Don't watch it unless you are going to review it or something along those lines. Stop giving those things your time and your energy. Because if you do exactly what those companies want you to do and you get offended and you make multiple videos and then you get more people knowing about it and then more people know about it, which means more people watch it and it becomes a success. It becomes a success overnight. So what do? You ignore it. You completely ignore it. You don't talk about it. You don't watch it. Well, you can talk about it. I mean, you don't unless you're actually going to watch it and review it, I would say ignore it completely. Ignore it 100%. If you don't like it, pretend it's dead. And I think that's really smart because it's the only way to not feed what these bigger companies want you to do on these outrage. And I think it's the only way to actually get rid of what you don't want because at the end of the day, the market will decide. I've said that a lot. Capitalism is winning in this thing, and they're winning because they are making you outraged. They are winning because you are mad about this book and you're making a book on it. I am not Starfire. You made a video about that. I made a video about that. I'm going to buy it. I'm doing what they want. Probably people in my audience will buy it too. But if it wasn't for that, it's likely those sales would dry up in that area, right? The market will decide. You have to let it decide. But unfortunately, political commentary right now, of course, but even more than that, Outrage Channel are a cash cow. Even so much that they will find a tweet and make a whole video about it. And I know I used to do the same thing. I can't even act like I haven't. Because so-and-so's offended and now we're going to make a whole video about it because it is a cash cow. So you start elevating. I think the only way is to, like I said, ignore and then elevate the good. But is that realistic? Probably not, but one can hope, right? So let me know, of course, what you guys think about this, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.